Well, hello and good evening to everyone. I'm here. I don't think you can see me though, can you? No, you can't. All right. We almost did not make it tonight. We almost didn't make it. We almost didn't make it, but we're here. We changed the time and did a whole bunch of other rigmarole, and then we found that we did have time. And by we here, I mean me. With that said, we are going to dig right into this. We've been covering a lot of different people. Tiffany Henyard is one of those people. As the mayor of Dolton and as the supervisor of the township of Thornton, she has been quite a colorful character. But here's the thing, what she has done is she's taken herself to a place where there really is no return. I don't know how many of you all know who Roland Martin is. He is a commentator. He is a Democratic commentator. He deals with people. He's very close with the Clintons in that he's interviewed Hillary on various occasions. And he is, in his own right, well known. And he is well known. She went on his show and she messed around and she found out that the show that she was going on was not what she thought it was going to be. So we're going to set this up for you. And I'm also going to show you some of the things that I had already put together that's going to answer some of the questions that he had. And I believe we should start there. I'm going to show you guys some video that I had pulled from from a Facebook page. Now, there is a Facebook page for the people of Dolton that they can go in, put what they see, and report it there. They go there, they upload things, they do it, by virtue of anonymity, because a lot of them don't want to be retaliated against based on the fact that that's one of her modus operandi. Her modus operandi is once you accuse her of something, then she attacks you. But this is very telling. We're going to look, and I'll skip through what we've already got on video. We're going to skip through that because what he did is he interviewed her last night, and by he, I mean Roland. He interviewed her last night. He asked her very direct questions, and he sat back and he allowed her to answer those questions in only Roland Martin's fashion. When I tell you this man is a professionale at what he does, he did it very well. He didn't stop her and he didn't try to be combative with her at that point. No, no. No, he didn't do that at all. So, what we're going to do is we're going to look at her boyfriend and her. We're going to look at who is doing what. This is amazing. So, let me go on ahead and take you guys here. Right here, the tab that I have that's open. And I want you guys to check this out. Creepy. I called it friends and family with benefits. That's what I called it. And let me just give it to you guys here now. Make sure that you guys can see it. I hope it allows me to play it like this. This will be the first time that I've ever done this. Okay, it has to be a window. There we go. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. Oh, oh, oh. Can you see that? Oh, that's amazing. Maybe I have to turn it into a video. Or maybe I just need to learn what I'm doing. Hold on. I don't know. Can you guys see that and see me? That's creepy. All right, let's see. How am I going to do this? Give that full screen. Can you still hear me? I need one of my mods or anybody here to let me know if I'm 5x5. If I am 5x5, I'm going to go ahead and play this. I'm looking in the comments now to see if I'm 5x5. Hey, Derek. Okay. Derek, you a mess. Derek, can you please let me know if I'm 5x5? Thank you, Dean. Okay. Now let me see what I do over here to start this tab. Nope. Here, you guys, we're just going to go in with Roland and I'm going to do commentary because I don't want him to feel as if I'm taking his stuff and using it because I'm not. I just want to make sure that you guys are able to see what it is that I put together. While we're watching him, I am going to convert the video that I did from Facebook to a into an actual video for YouTube, and that way it'll help me to prevent myself from going through this, because this is driving me bats. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. You see, I'm looking like limpid. So let's just go ahead and show his video first. And then some of the questions that he asks, thank you. Some of the questions that he asks are rhetorical in this interview, as he's reviewing himself interviewing her. He interviewed her last night, and then he did the response video this morning, and he is asking questions. I have those questions answered. That's what's on my tab that I had already pulled together a few days ago. Okay, anyway, there we are.
Unfiltered, I talked to the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, in an exclusive interview about a variety of allegations against her. She's got national attention, a lot of critics out there with regards to how she's operated as the mayor of Dolton, as well as the supervisor of Thornton Township. One of the issues we talked about was this charity, Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Here's what I first asked her about the foundation. You have a charity that from the Attorney General's office is, I understand they sent a cease and desist letter to your foundation?
I don't know nothing about that. I'm not crazy. I'm not
You have
deranged.
Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation. So the Attorney General's office hasn't reached out to you regarding your foundation?
So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it. Because right now I'm considered what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
Don't have a, you say you don't have a foundation.
I do not. And that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
Okay. I followed that up a little bit later in the interview with this. So I'd asked you before we went to the break. I talked about again this charity and the Illinois Attorney General's office. This is from CBS affiliate there. Says that the accusation comes at the same time the Illinois Attorney General's office told Henyard's charity multiple times in recent months to stop improperly soliciting donations because it had not registered with the state as required by law. And you said that's not your charity. Correct. Okay. So were you ever? So that was so. Show the video here. 'Cause I'm trying to understand this here. So this is a video of you marching with the charity. So what is this?
So what they're not telling you is we literally walked to Springfield to create a bill to help anybody that suffered from cancer, whether it's the village of Dolton, Thornton Township, and then I increased it to the state of Illinois.
He does this so eloquently, the way he asks her questions, and then she automatically goes right into, so what they're not telling you. She doesn't answer the question. And if you notice, there is almost a pandemic of individuals who are on the hot seat that don't give direct answers to questions that are very blatant, that are yes and no, or that give a direct answer to the question. She skates throughout this. And my concern is that she is not a habitual liar. And my area of expertise is not in medicine at all, but she's almost pathological. And that is what I've noticed as a trend with a lot of liberal individuals these days, is that they are absolutely enamored of themselves. And that's where the narcissism piece comes in. But they also believe their own press or their own resume. And they're the ones who wrote it, if that makes sense.
And that bill will help people by giving them $10,000. And that's a bill that we actually are initiating, and we're still working on it. When I went through the Republican states, the Republican areas, we didn't have any issue. Everybody was on board because everybody is suffering from cancer or know someone that passed or is actually going through it. So that was the whole purpose of the walk, to basically bring awareness and bring people together. That's what the whole purpose of it is.
But if you had, so there were folks with signs saying Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Who was that?
What do you mean? It's everybody. Everybody was there.
No. What I'm saying is, what is the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation? You said it's not affiliated with you at all.
Correct.
Well, what is it?
So someone made up a foundation. They named it after me, and they like my work that I do in the community, and it's called Tiffany Henyard Cares. So we all went.
Now, but they weren't registered. Have you contacted them and told them you can't use my name improperly?
Well, my lawyer's handling a lot of that stuff, so all I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So I'm just trying to answer to the.
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you?
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
so
true.
you're not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So she said in the interview that the foundation was not hers.
Correct.
This is from a council meeting.
Correct. Watch this.
One that I'm really, really big on, that's dear to my heart, is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails. My heart is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails is helping everybody within the 17 municipalities with services such as well services and resources, such as if you need help paying for chemo, radiation, your medicine, your wigs, your prosthetic, your breasts, things of that nature, even helping you with housing. Because I know firsthand how that feels to just not have help when my mom had breast cancer. So I want to make sure that I put that out there to the public and to everybody, that it goes to any 17 municipality. You cannot live in Chicago to benefit from this foundation. It's strictly for people that live in the 17th community.
But on the original interview, while she was being interviewed with Roland Martin, she specifically said that it was for anybody in Illinois. Here in the original meeting, she's clarifying at that time, because remember, it's two different timelines. She's clarifying in the meeting who it is for, not to mention the fact that there was a check that was written from either the township or the city of Dolton, whichever one, she's responsible for it, for $10,000 endowment or donation that was given under her watch. Okay, let's go.
We are doing a cancer walk October 4th, and how this room was filled. I will hope you guys will come out for that cause. We will start right at Food for Less parking lot. We will walk west, going across the Unity Bridge, and we will walk 15 miles. So anybody that's up for the challenge or that feel they can make it, please show up. You can walk, ride, or drive. And yes, we got bikes. We have motorcycle clubs. We have all kinds of people that is joining us in this movement because you never know when you need this resource as well. So always be about the cause. Last but not least, even though I know we got another meeting, the kids' Halloween dance party will be Sunday, October.
Look at his face.
So now
What
I'm
do you
confused. In that video, in a council meeting,
think? Yes.
and I'm about to play the intro again.
Okay.
Mayor Henyard
What she said?
says, I have created a foundation.
Is that what she said?
Press play.
Doing that I'm really, really big on, that's dear to my heart, is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails is helping everybody.
So she says, I have created the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. We pulled the article of incorporation. Pull it up. Now, when I asked her about this, she said, someone made up a foundation. Okay, someone. Here's the problem. The registered agent of the foundation is a Keith Freeman. Keith Freeman works for the city of Dolton. If you look at the boards of the directors, there are 5 people: Kamal Woods, Pamela Earhart, Carmen Carlisle, William Moore, Cheryl Schranz, Schranz. Earlier today, I sent emails to Carmen Carlisle, who is listed as an assistant to Mayor Henyard for the city of Dolton. I sent an email to William Moore, who's listed as head of housing for the city of Dolton. So now I'm confused. Then I pulled additional information. Cheryl Schranz apparently is a vendor of the city of Dolton, and she has the tow yard contract for the city of Dolton.
Gosh diggity. I think I'll just keep it open instead of muting it. I'm not doing anything when the thing is playing anyway. So anyway, listen, now what he's doing is laying down the groundwork for everybody to see exactly who the players are. The players are the individuals that are working for her. And to his great credit, what he's sharing is, hey, look, I asked her distinctly who was over this organization. In other words, and I'm paraphrasing, he asked her, well, have you reached out to them to let them know to stop using your likeness and your, well, I don't handle any of that. I don't handle any of that. My attorneys are handling all of that. You're telling us that you don't know that your employees are running an organization that you just set in front of your constituents and said you started? You see, it's the cuckoo-ness. She just had to brag on herself in that meeting with the people in that community. She had to brag on herself, and she had to say what she had done, because she had to be the hero. She had to be the Shiro super mayor. She had to be that. And that's the reason why he was able to so eloquently pluck that piece out. Wait till you see. He was able to so eloquently pluck that out because it is in her nature to be like Narcissus was. Narcissus used to look down in that pool at himself and that reflection. He just loved it. He just couldn't get enough of himself. This is what this woman is doing. And I love how Roland allowed her to go the night before. I tell you, I watched that interview in its entirety while it was going on. And I sat there and I thought to myself, wow, I know how he interviews. And I know that before he even had her on that show, he did his homework. For those of you who are in the chat who may remember an individual that I interviewed, and I did very extensive homework, but I let that individual know that I was going to do the homework. And if I had done it like he did it, oh, baby, that would have been wonderful. But instead, when I just asked the lady the question and let her see what we had found and what we had put together and ask her, how do you broach the subject when you're addressed with things like this? She told me to kiss her ass and got off my show. For those of you who were here, that's exactly what she said. And you guys should remember that when we interviewed somebody who was well known and I asked her questions based on some of the things that she had public, but had I done it like Roland, baby, that would have been that's it's listen, I'm not a Roland Martin quote unquote, hanger on or a fan. And I just subscribed to his channel when I saw how eloquently he did this. I didn't subscribe the first day I was watching him. I subscribed when I saw him doing this. I said, now that's what I call journalism. He just picked her up and put her up against the wall. He painted the picture the night before. He allowed her to do what she does. And then he comes with the evidence. And this evidence is quite damning. And I would say that it's damning to the extent that she can be brought up on charges based upon what she said publicly, because there's something you can pull a thread for. Now, I know that her attorneys have gotten her pretty good because technically she's not a part of it. Technically, she didn't do it. But the thing that got her is her saying it publicly on camera that she created it. That you cannot take back, friends. That you cannot change. And I love the way that Roland did this. So let's continue to go. And remember, you guys, this is commentary. In order for me to use this great guy's work, I have to share with you my commentary on it, but it's going to get much better. So let's go on ahead and continue to hear what he has to say.
Again, this is where I'm confused.
Come on now.
So I also sent an email to James Farrell, who is the head of communications for the city of Dolton, asking, are Dolton city employees listed below involved in the Henyard Cares Foundation board? No response. Moore didn't respond. Carlisle didn't respond. Keith Freeman didn't respond. I did send an email with these questions to the PR staff for Mayor Henyard, and pull up their response, please. This is a statement attributed to Mayor Henyard. Pull it up. I recognize there are questions surrounding my association.
I'm going to read that just so that it doesn't appear that I'm using all of his stuff. It says, I recognize there are questions surrounding my association with the Tiffany Cares Foundation. Allow me to clarify. While the foundation's purpose deeply resonates with me due to personal experiences witnessed by my mother's battle with cancer, I want to emphasize that I have never held a position on its board, nor am I involved in its daily operations. Now let's go on. Let me move it up from there. Here's the next quote. My connection stems from a sincere dedication to serving my community, particularly those confronting similar challenges. It's important to note that while my likeness is being used for the cause, I am not in an authority or operative position within the organization. My commitment remains steadfast to residents of Illinois and my mission to advocate for their health and wellness.
My connection stems from a sincere dedication to serving my community, particularly those confronting similar challenges. It's important to note that while my likeness is being used for the cause, I am not in an authority or operative position within the organization. My commitment remains steadfast to residents of Illinois and my mission to advocate for their health and wellness. Okay, I get that. But here's what I'm trying to understand. The mayor says, I'm not involved in his operation. I have no position. According to the articles of incorporation, she's correct. But the 5 people who are involved, 3 of them work for her, possibly 4. One person is alleged to be in a romantic relationship.
Okay, the one person
I'm trying to confirm or deny
that is in an alleged relationship with her, I want you guys to see her. There it is, friends and family. We finally uploaded it. The one that is in a relationship with her, we're going to come back to Roland because, again, I do not need to be, attacked because I'm using his product, his item for me to share with you my commentary on it. I'm simply admiring the fact that he had the audacity, the tenacity to actually get her on his channel, which to me is not a shock, again, because he is so definitely connected. I mean, definitely. So I'm going to keep this paused right here, and then I'm going to pull up the other one. I'm not going to lose this one. I'm going to keep it where it is. I'm going to stop sharing, and then we're going to pull up the one that we did for this time. All right. The one we did about a few nights ago. All right. So here it is. It uploaded perfectly. Let me see if I can skim through here to get to where I need to be. I want you to see her praising this guy. Okay. Because on this, there it is, right there. Okay. Now remember, he mentioned the man. All right. Right here. We're going to be dancing throughout this video. So let's go. That's the piece.
In March 2023.
Let's go up.
And come on, fellas. Came into our life right here, and thank God for Kamal. Kamal has came into our life. He has been nothing.
He financed their mortgage
Let's
on
let
their
this
South
play out.
Holland home in March 2023.
We're going to listen to this part again. Look.
Of justice right here, and thank God for Kamal. Kamal has came into our life. He has been nothing but a loving father to my child, Justice. So I love him for that. And Kamal, fellas, for what you have given me. So I just want.
It's really none of our business, but a public figure who associates themselves with a married man should be careful what they speak on. Everyone.
Did you hear that? He is a married man. The man that is Kamal, that is on the show that Roland Martin just asked the question about. He said it's somebody, we believe that there is a possibility that she's seeing somebody. This is the man that is on the Tiffany Henyard Cares organization's articles of incorporation. This is the man who is being paid $100,000 a year, which is allegedly someone else's husband, according to the documents that are on the screen. He is being paid $100,000 per annum by the township, and he is her boyfriend. The man she just said is a father to her daughter, Justice. Put a one in the chat if you heard that. Give me a like down there if you heard that. Share this out if you can. So this is the answer to the question that he asks. I think we understand that she is involved with somebody. Yes, he is one of the people that is on that Tiffany Henyard's Cares organization, articles of incorporation. He is one of the individuals that, based on the fact that she said she did not know who is involved in this organization, that she doesn't know the organizers of, she's sleeping with him. She is sleeping with the man. So here is my purpose. And I, again, am going to continue to clarify the purpose as to why I've decided to cover this. Because it is, and it's way out of the scope of what I generally do. But the reason why I'm doing it, ladies and gentlemen, is because I, as I've stated before, am very frustrated with Black folk beating America up and using the term people are racist or they're trying to get me. I am tired of seeing people who just get up every day and go to work to do their job, come home, and they're not privy to a lot of this stuff because they're not into social media. I'm tired of those individuals being taken advantage of when they look around their community and nothing's being done. And they hear people like her continuously lie out of their mouths and say they love their community. I love my community and I'm here to do stuff for them. And the white man don't want us to make it. And the Black man need to be better with this and that. And it's all of the women. So I'm going to continue to speak against it because we collectively are being put on a bargaining or a chopping block. And we collectively have to be able to see it, spot it, smell it, know what it is. If it walk like a duck and it quack like a duck, baby girl, baby boy, it's a duck. And we need to stop it. Let's go. We're going to go back over here and we're going to finish listening to Roland. Okay, we're gonna go back to Roland. We got to get back to Roland because Roland does a wonderful job. I'm sorry, I just got to give it to the man. He did a great job on this. Here you go.
One of the 5 is a vendor with the city. So here's a foundation that the state attorney general's office has ordered them to stop accepting funds. But here's part of also the problem. Mary Henyard participated in a vote that provided money to the foundation. Do we have that video? So that happened. So how do you then say in a meeting, I have created a foundation, and in the same meeting, you are describing what the foundation is going to do? So you give me a statement today saying I'm not involved in any of his actions or his decisions, but you said this in announcing the foundation, which describes its activities. How do you know this? Press play.
I'm really, really big on, that's dear to my heart, is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails is helping everybody within the 17 municipalities with services, such as well services and resources, such as if you need help paying for chemo, radiation, your medicine, your wigs, your prosthetic, your breasts, things of that nature, even helping you in housing. Because I know firsthand how that feels to just not have help when my mom had breast cancer. So I want to make sure that I put that out there to the public and to everybody, that it goes to any 17 municipality. You cannot live in Chicago to benefit from this foundation. It's strictly for people that live in the 17 communities. We are doing a cancer walk October 4th, and how this room was filled. I will hope you guys will come out for that cause. We will start right at Food for Less parking lot. We will walk west, going across the Unity Bridge, and we will walk 15 miles. So anybody that's up for the challenge or that feel they can make it, please show up. You can walk, ride, or drive. And yes, we got bikes, we have motorcycle clubs, we have all kinds of people that.
So here's the problem that has not been clarified by Mayor Henyard. And I did respond to her people, and I said, this statement does not, first of all, the email that I sent, I said, I have some additional questions regarding the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. I laid out, and I said, my understanding is that Keith Freeman is the Dolton Village manager. Does Henyard have a personal relationship with Keith Woods? Is Pamela Earhart her assistant? Is Carmen Carlisle a trustee of Thornton Township? Is William Moore the housing director at Dolton? Is Cheryl Strands a vendor with Dolton and is the official tow yard? I said, now last night, Mayor Henyard said she wasn't aware of who was behind the foundation. How can that be the case with all of these connections? Please provide me an answer. We will be doing this story tonight at 6 p.m. They responded. And I responded. This statement does not answer the questions I posed. Was Mayor Henyard aware that Dolton and Thornton Township employees
You see how he's drilling down with them? He is drilling down with the questions that he asked, as any good interviewer or even an attorney would do. And I think that's the problem. They were not expecting for him to not only give her a platform, which he did, and it was huge. He gave her the platform, and then as soon as he gave her the platform, she felt vindicated because she said that she was coming there to set the record straight. Well, she set the record straight, but she put her foot all the way up to her hip in her mouth. And that's the problem.
created and oversaw this charity? Why did she say she was not aware who was behind this charity when every person has a tie to her? Why would she allow a charity to use her name, image, and likeness, but she have no involvement with it? She has voted for monies to be sent to the charity. The charity has used Dolton City Services. She has promoted the charity on her social media, personal pages, and in meetings. So how is she not aware of the goals, objectives, and business dealings of the charity? That last one hasn't been answered. So these are the type of questions.
Justice right here, and
All right, here, everybody. The following video that we're going to watch is actually a grouping of videos that I discovered on Facebook, of all places. And it answers a lot of the questions that we all may have had about Dolton County, Dolton, Illinois' mayor, and the Thornton Township's supervisor, Tiffany Henyard. Now, I'm going to play these, and I hope that you guys can see the screen because I can't make it any bigger. But anyway, let's get into this. It's some stuff we have not seen before, which is a good thing.
We really want to help Trustee Belcher get some answers to questions she asked during the October 2nd, 2023 board meeting. During discussions of the warrant list, the trustee noticed a few discrepancies and asked for an explanation. First, we will watch the short clip from the board meeting. Pay close attention to the questions and answers given. Are the lack of answers really?
okay, and before you answer that, Janice, stop lying, trustee.
What am I lying
you keep
about, ma'am?
saying it's a township event. It's not a township event. For the record, anybody that want to go to any conference can go. So stop trying to act like we having our own events, because we do not. Anybody can sign up for a conference and go to it and get educated. So
Mayor,
stop doing that. Don't lie to the residents like that.
Mayor, when you went to Alabama, was it a
What I want you guys to know is that the answers to the questions are hard hitting in this. It's not like we're just hearing her ramble. That we're going to get the answers here.
did you go as a township supervisor or as the mayor, Dolton?
Why you worry about how I went?
I'm just asking the question. It's discussion. I just asked the
It's
question.
discussion, but I don't have to tell you how I went. If it's
Okay,
not on, if
well,
it's not on the list,
If
hold on.
I
If
don't
it's not
know,
on the list, right? Because you could have asked me that before, right? If you really truly
it's
wanted to know.
discussion now.
Okay,
So here we go.
I don't go.
Janice, can you answer the
I
question?
don't go
My
anywhere
attention telling you what to say.
from here, because remember, y'all ain't got the money, right? Make up your mind. Y'all got the money, do or y'all do. So stop saying township
Okay,
event.
I'm
So
asking the
that's why I'm
question.
correcting you, trustee. That's why I'm correcting you, because you got it wrong. That's
Okay,
not
so
true.
did you go as the mayor or did you go as the township
Again,
supervisor?
this ain't no Q&A for Tiffany Henyard,
It's discussion.
and I just told you. I just answered.
Okay, well,
So I
nevertheless, I'm
said you
still
got it
trying to
wrong. Do
figure
not
out
put the
why
township
they're-
involved in Dolton.
why
Dolton ain't
they're
got nothing to
on
do
the
with it.
AP.
Mayor Henyard did her best to deflect and gaslight the situation as usual, claiming it wasn't anyone's business how she went to an Alabama trip in the first week of March. Okay, so let's find out what conference was attended and if it was for the village or township. Here is a short clip of the Alabama trip starring the super duper mayor, along with 6 other Dolton Township employees. Most of them are on both payrolls.
The super mayor Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor / supervisor for the township. We are here in Selma, Alabama, and we are taking care of the business of the people. We just walked over the bridge, and we are taking care of the people.
As you can see, the group of employees were not at a conference at all. They were participating in the Selma Bridge Walk. Let's watch one more video just to see if she clarifies if it was for the township or village.
Tiffany Henyard. I am the mayor of the village of Dolton, and I'm also the supervisor of Thornton Township, which is the largest in the state of Illinois.
How many times have you come to the bridge? That's my first question.
This is my first year, so I'm excited. I'm all about the movement and the progress of developing areas such as Selma, Alabama.
Okay.
Sure, it's a great cause, but that doesn't make it a work-related trip. Despite the mayor saying they were taking care of the business of the people, whatever the hell that means, this should have been paid for out of their own pockets, especially with how much the super mayor gets paid between her salaries and expense allowance, which is around $300,000 a year. We will be breaking down her pay in a future video. Stay tuned. As a reminder, the village has a $5 million deficit. It goes without saying that field trips and weekly events shouldn't be a priority for the mayor. It only adds more debt when we have major infrastructure problems
And
to
now
fix.
the debt
What's
is
that you
far
ask?
higher.
Did the mayor attend
The debt is far higher now than 5 million.
this event to financially benefit Dolton or the township in any way? After all, that's what she claims to do on her travels. Need a reminder? Sure, we got that covered for you.
And anywhere I go, guess what? I bring a bag back.
So did she bring a bag back? No, she did not. In fact, according to the township and village credit card statements, they spent a total of $22,246.57 to go on this short field trip. They traveled well, ate great food, slept in comfy hotels, and had all expenses paid for by tax dollars. Feel free to pause and zoom in for a closer look on the next 4 photos.
And so this ended up being suffice it to say that they spent a lot. A lot. Now there's going to be
How the mayor spends the village's money should be 100% transparent. Trustees have every right to ask. An honest person would have answered such simple questions without a problem. Guilty people deflect and get defensive. Mayor Henyard showed her hand in this moment, and the representative from Dilgaldo Law Group and the finance director did nothing to stop her, meaning they are complicit in her illegal spending of village funds. We will answer the question for her. Yes, she definitely commingled funds on this trip. Trustee Belcher buried Tiffany in facts once again. And Tiffany, before you get defensive, let's remember when you first took office and declared how you felt about the village paying for travel expenses.
To put it in writing of why I felt the reason that you guys should not pay for a hotel with taxpayer dollars. I felt you should use your.
Okay, this is her when she was a trustee. It's dated September 27th, 2021. This was a special board meeting.
Own dollars, because you get a salary, you get a stipend, and all that money entails to pay for a hotel.
These people are crazy. Anyway, I have another one that's coming up that's pretty damning as well. So let's go ahead and get right into that one.
We really wish we didn't have to make these videos, but when listening to board meetings and the mayor says something so ridiculous, it's almost impossible not to respond. It's the audacity for us. She is a walking, talking contradiction to herself. We have already proven she spends taxpayer dollars on whatever she wants. But now we will open up the next chapter in the book of Henyard. This is the clip that caught our attention.
Legislative branch power, this is what they do. They nickel and dime try to muscle the mayor into doing things for their friends and their cronies. I would never do that. So,
oh, sure. Tiffany would never do that. All right, residents, as we have already shown you, your tax dollars support Tiffany's extra fun lifestyle. But now we are ready to show you what else your tax dollars pay for. Actually, we should say who they pay for. Hear this question get asked a lot. Why are people still loyal to her? Well, she not only signs their paycheck, but she is the only reason they are getting that paycheck. She creates job security to all the criminals she employs, past, present, and future criminals, that is. Hope you are ready to be amazed. We really don't like being mean, so please understand we are just stating the facts when we point out illegal activity or gross misuse of taxpayer dollars. If someone proudly associates themselves with Tiffany, they can't be surprised when their wrongdoing gets revealed too. Let's dive in. First on the chopping block is Kamal Woods, Tiffany's married boyfriend, and doesn't look to be getting a divorce anytime soon since he and his wife just refinanced their mortgage on their South Holland home in March 2023.
I'm a single parent of Justice right here, and thank God for Kamal. Kamal has came into our life. He has been nothing but a loving father to my child, Justice, so I love him for that. Kamal, thank you for all the support that you have given me. So I just want.
It's really none of our business, but a public figure who associates themselves with a married man should be careful what they speak on. Everyone has skeletons in their closet, so while Kamal may be a great father figure to Justice, we hope he cleared up the child support lien he had against him from a previous relationship. Kamal receives a salary of $100,000 a year through the Dolton Township Youth Grant. We are sure this has since increased since the state decided to double the youth grant from $1 million to $2 million, even though Supervisor Henyard failed to do anything productive with the grant besides throw an embarrassing youth summit, which was nothing more than a concert for Tiffany to feel like a celebrity. Okay, we have to provide a short clip.
So now with this clip, the music is copywritten, but you can see that Tiffany is singing the words here. And so we'll let this play out just so that you guys can get an idea of what the money was spent on. Okay, so we'll just fast forward a little bit and get through that. And so that way we can get on to the rest of what they're talking about. I found this pretty curious.
Kamal is a business owner of a clothing store in Glenwood, Illinois. Of course, this business is not in good standing with the state. Also, one of the brands Kamal sells, possibly owns, just so happens to be one of the sponsors of the Just Ice basketball courts in Dolton. Look familiar? And that brings us to his car wash located in Dolton. It's no shock Kamal managed to get his business license renewed without any issue, unlike dozens of other businesses in town who Henyard has denied renewing licenses for. We bet a FOIA search will show he doesn't pay the $450 fee. It's also odd that we cannot find any business in the state this car wash is registered under. So what perks does this special crony of hers get? Well, we have heard on good authority Kamal doesn't pay a water bill. Since we cannot provide documentation, we will move to the next item. His business doesn't pay property taxes, is actually listed as exempt. Now anyone who owns a home or business in Dolton knows how high property taxes are. The only time a business is exempt is when it's a not-for-profit, which is not the case for this car wash. These are public records for anyone who wants to check for themselves. Hey, Kamal, you should really take care of that mechanic's lien on the property. And yet, he still managed to buy another property that wasn't even advertised as being for sale. We bet he knew someone. He purchased the old animal hospital on Lincoln Avenue, Dolton for $80,000, according to the Cook County Assessor's website. He put it up for sale shortly after with a description that we suspect was written by Kamal, but proofread by Tiffany. We won't waste your time. You can pause and read it if you would like. A year later, Kamal sold the property for $200,000, which means he made $120,000 on the sale. Now, this is where things start to include other cronies. Kamal sold the property to his car wash neighbor, a liquor store called the Emporium Beverage Depot, owned by TAC Investments. Now, we are not saying the buyers of the property have done anything illegal in any way, but we are saying they did donate $8,000 to Tiffany Henyard's campaign fund just before she announced a new restaurant was going to be breaking ground at the location on Lincoln Avenue. She did this without board approval, of course. She was so excited she even made a video. Shocking, we know. Look, Kamal was even part of the groundbreaking.
It's gonna be big about it.
At the end of the day, you see, we put in a restaurant, event space, so we got a banquet, a party, an event, turning 60, you families. Please come, contact Tim and Patrick.
I'm gonna have my 75th at that
I
place.
always supported them. I love them. I appreciate it. Y'all know the words. Sing it with me. Ain't no stopping us now.
Now, here is where the contradiction part comes into play. Not even 2 months later, Super Duper Tiff went on a long rant during a board meeting about not giving any more liquor licenses out and not supporting establishments who sell liquor or have parties. Weird, right? Let's watch.
Many you get the pulling liquor license because they talk about business license, liquor license, where I am the liquor commissioner. People got an attitude. Now everybody want to talk, but they're not telling you how it's hurting our people. All I'm saying is we can do better with less. And with less being, we don't need all them liquor stores and liquor establishments. We got over 40. Did y'all know that? That you can go buy liquor from. How much liquor you gonna drink? We can cut that. But the minute I say that, then it's, oh, she's stopping the business. No. And I will not have strip joints in Dolton. I will not have more liquor spaces in Dolton. So
Back to our crony, Kamal. We know there is probably much more we can tell you about, but we have a lot more to cover. So we will transition on this note. Kamal also sits on the Tiffany Cares Foundation Board of Directors, along with many other friends and cronies of the super mayor. As you may recall, the Tiffany Cares Foundation received $10,000 from Thornton Township, where Tiffany is the supervisor. Yes, the super mayor gave her own foundation $10,000 out of the township she oversees. Seems super illegal, right? We think so. But if you ask Tiffany, this is what she says about it.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is nowhere, sir.
Say again?
I'm the face.
You're the face.
Back to the board of directors, we're going to focus on two people, Carmen Carlisle and William Moore. Carmen Carlisle.
I am sorry, but before we go any further, I just cannot stop looking at that young lady's face who's always sitting next to her. The gal with the sandy blonde hair that was sitting right next to her just a second ago. she looked like, wait a minute, I know you said that was yours. And then she's looking around as if to say, did anybody else hear this? So here's the thing. When you see this lady, she's usually sitting to Tiffany's right, which would be to our left. She looks absolutely shocked and afraid at the same time. I'm going to play that again. Please pay close attention to her face.
Seems super illegal, right? We think so. But if you ask Tiffany, this is what she says about it.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is nowhere, sir. I'm the face.
You're the face.
Back to the board of directors, we're going to focus on two people, Carmen Carlisle and William Moore. Carmen Carlisle is the executive assistant to Mayor Henyard for the village of Dolton. Carmen was also conveniently appointed to fill the vacancy of Thornton Township trustee after Joyce Washington passed away in May 2023. Carmen collects a salary for both positions, of course, and Tiffany benefits from another yes vote in her favor on the township board. William Moore works full-time for the village of Dolton as the director of housing and permits. He also works in administration for Thornton Township and reports directly to Tiffany. Doesn't end there. His wife also works in administration for the township. He collects multiple paychecks along with his wife. And Tiffany has full control over the permits department since her crony Mr. Morris in charge. Now you may have noticed on the Tiffany Cares Foundation Articles of Incorporation that Keith Freeman is the registered agent. Just another convenient person for Tiffany to point the finger at when she goes down. Let's not forget Keith is the full-time village administrator and also works full-time at Thornton Township as Tiffany's right-hand man. I don't think we need to explain the mutual benefit of having your partner in crime next to you at both jobs. Dolton trustee Stan Brown had a new department created for him to oversee at the township. He is the director of community outreach and takes home a nice salary. His son, Stafford Brown, also works for Thornton Township in the HR department. In return, Stan votes yes to everything his supermayor asks of him for the village of Dolton. Jerry Jones is a Thornton Township trustee. He was recently given a full-time job at the village of Dolton as the director of the water department. Jerry's daughter, Jasmine Jones, has also secured full-time employment with Thornton Township. His son, Josh Jones, works for the township as well. Jerry's granddaughter, Portia Jones, works for the township too. She and Josh both work in community outreach, which is Stan Brown's department. Jerry collects two paychecks along with his family members, and Tiffany once again gets another yes man in her corner on the township board. Gloria White, who Tiffany ran for township school trustee, was also hired to work the youth grant and receives a salary at the township. The highest form of nepotism is easy to recognize when Tiffany's own last name is attached. Rosie Henyard, Tiffany's sister-in-law, is the director of youth and family services for Thornton Township. Tamika Henyard is Tiffany's cousin. She is the manager of senior services for Thornton Township. Can't forget the woman responsible for Tiffany's look. Teresia Clark Butler is Tiffany's hairstylist and also landed herself a full-time job as a Thornton Township General Assistance caseworker and outreach. And the honorable mentions go to Tenjanique Miller, finance director, has a nephew who works for Public Works. Stacy Carroll, superintendent of Public Works, has a cousin working in his own department. A good friend of Tiffany is Pastor Anthony Williams, has a son who works for Public Works. Andrew Holmes' girlfriend works for the village of Dolton. Terrence Alexander is Keith Freeman's best friend and is the IT project manager for the township. Man, that was exhausting. We hope you get the point after listening to the long list of Tiffany's friends and cronies who have jobs in return for their loyalty. It's hard to believe Tiffany would ever abuse her power as mayor or supervisor by giving perks to those who support her. But it's true, folks. Quid pro quo or pay to play. Call it what you want. We call it illegal. As always, we gave you the facts. And Tiffany has a problem with nepotism and lying. Until next time, thanks for watching TikTok.
Well, you guys, that's really all I have for now. I found that and I just thought, my goodness, what will you think about? Okay, so when we're looking at this, there are so many other layers to this that I can't believe. I mean, you guys, when they were talking about TAC investments, I went here to the Secretary of State and I have found a boatload of companies that have TAK. here's the piece that I answered to myself while we were all sitting here. Tiffany and Kamal, TAK. There were some companies that were dissolved, not saying that it's theirs, but there was a Kamal who was one of the people who was over the company. Let me let you see it if I can bring it up. Hold on just a second. So my point is, this is the very definition, ladies and gentlemen, of RICO. This is the very definition of RICO, staring us in our faces. And the problem is, we see this type of stuff going on and we don't understand what's really happening. If this particular situation were not made public like this, you could visit any town USA that was being governed in the manner that this place is. And you would think that this is just garbage. Look at this. This is terrible. Don't these people pay taxes? They not only pay taxes, but in an effort to recoup monies that were spent, they actually went out of their way to charge people $500 for tickets, traffic tickets, parking tickets, tickets. There was long lines of individuals waiting to pay their tickets so that they could play catch up. But here is the page that I'm looking at, and we're just going to fish on it. We're going to fish just very casually. And let me see. Is this the one that had his name? Let me see, because I flipped the pages over. But I just wanted to show you. There it is. So now this was involuntarily dissolved, but it's a long time ago. So that may not be them, because they're not that old. They're not that young either. But I almost want to go back to that video we were just listening to just see. It's just ironic that the cat's name is Kamal here and it's TAK. It's just ironic, that's all. But there's TAC Communications, TAK. That TAK sticks out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling some threads on my own tomorrow to try to see, of the companies that they've mentioned, how many may have some of the same people's names on it. Now, I do want to show you before we close this, because the gentleman by the name of Keith Freeman has been arrested, and that is the gentleman that they have made the, oh goodness, he's over the $100 million budget that they have there in the actual township. Yeah, he's over the $1 million budget that they've got in the township. And so the problem with that piece is that they've literally left the funds in the hands of like the what do they call those, the wolf in the hens, the wolf inside of the Henyard. Okay, so this is him, and he has been arrested. Let me let you guys see his arrest record. And he wasn't arrested for having this thing that you see here, which is going to be his bankruptcy. He was arrested for something else. But what I do want to share with you guys is these people have hidden a lot of the stuff that you would want to know about. And today what popped up was her credentials, and by her I mean Tiffany's credentials for high school, for college. I had done a search on that. Couldn't find anything. Now we find something that shows she graduated cum laude. I think it was either cum laude or summa cum laude. I was like, really? Wow. Okay, let me get on with this. On February 12, 2024, the bankruptcy trustee for Keith Freeman's bankruptcy filed a motion for Rule 2004 examination of debtor. Let me make sure you can hear. Yeah, okay, you can. For the examination of debtor. This comes on the heels of our article pointing out certain known and documented financial discrepancies in Freeman's petition for bankruptcy. The debtors, this is from the motion of examination, emphasis, quote unquote, hours. The debtor schedule, I reflect that the debtor is employed as a municipality manager, the Thornton Township, and he earns $5,833 in gross monthly wages, a monthly income as reimbursement in the amount of $2,300 $45, with a total monthly income listed as $8,178.36, or $98,140.32 annually. The Debtor Statement of Financial Affairs, or SOFA, question 4 reflected the debtor and employment income of $99,647 for the year of 2023 and $45,186 for 2022. On January 23, 2024, the U.S. trustee sent an email to counsel asking for certain financial documents which have been provided. The information on documents received is inconsistent with the information on the debtor's schedule. The U.S. trustee seeks further information and documents to verify the veracity, truthfulness, and completeness of the debtor's petition, schedules, statement of financial affairs, means test, amended schedules, if any, and testimony, if given, at the meeting of the creditors in order to determine whether they may be a basis to object the debtor's discharge under Section 727 of the Bankruptcy Code or file a motion to dismiss debtor's case pursuant to Section 707. To do so, the United States trustee needs to review the documents and elicit testimony from the debtor under the Federal Rule of Bankruptcy Procedure 2004-C, which may include the production of documents and attendance at an examination. This examination is scheduled for February the 20th, 2024 at 9 a.m. in courtroom 619 of the Everett McKinley Dickerson United States Courthouse, Chicago, Illinois. So basically, in layman's terms, all of us really, I know everybody here understands this. Basically, what it's saying is, hey, you filed for a bankruptcy and it was granted. And at that time, you claimed you made this amount of money. That's not what we see. What we're hearing and what we're seeing and what we're able to glean is that you're making far more money than what you have said. And so we'd like for you to come back, sit before the judge, and explain exactly how you are qualified to only pay your debtors X amount that was based on what we were furnished with originally. That's primarily what it means. Primarily. And I could be off. Again, I'm not an attorney, so I could be off. That's just layman's, right? Now, even though the community has already been having hardship, there are people who are wondering why the mayor and the administrator are advocating for increased taxes and handing out hefty $500 parking tickets. $500 parking tickets. The heart of Dolton beats with a sense of unity as concerned residents take matters into their own hands, fueled by the desire for transparency and accountability. And according to the article that I'm reading from on the side that I'm on, they had a petition that emerged and is already gaining traction, demanding the removal of this young man, Keith Freeman, from his position. What makes this movement unique is its inclusivity. Residents are urging everyone, regardless of their Dolton residency status, to sign this petition. This is the petition I'm going to show you guys now. Hold on. This is the petition that they've got going around. And believe it or not, I believe it's on change.org. And if you know anything about change.org, this is him. And this right here is the village attorney. This man represents Delgado Law Firm, if I'm not mistaken. Very curious. I've been trying to dig around and figure out who they are. I guess I got to go to the state bar to figure out who they are and who are the players and where they come from. That'll tell me a lot about who's behind this whole fiasco that everybody is paying attention to, while everything else around us, while Rome burns, we're all focused on this. The same way it was while we were looking up the information with Fonnie Willis, and we were able to find out that there was a heavy hitter in the office with her that should have not been anywhere near the South, because this man had been representing people as wide and as broad as Bush. He had worked with the Bush administration, the Obama administration. he had worked with several people, and he's, according to a lot of people, he's pretty big potatoes. And those kinds of potatoes should not be in Fulton County. A little old bitty small place in comparison to everywhere else. Shouldn't have been down there down south. Shouldn't have been down there, baby. What you doing slumming down here? This states that the community already faced hardship. This is the portion that I was just reading from, and this is the man. This is the petition. This is the petition. The petition. And change.org. Anybody in the class know who runs change.org? Does anybody know who runs change.org? Here. Well, I'll just leave that for your homework. But nonetheless, they have got, at this point to date, they had 238 to 500 was the goal. In acknowledging the challenging economic climate faced by individuals in today's times, it's important to approach discussions about finances with empathy and understanding. The intention of this article is not to cast judgment on anyone experiencing financial difficulties. However, it is crucial to shed light on the residents of Dolton who find themselves grappling with financial woes of their own. The focus here is on the documented actions of the village administrator, Keith Freeman, who has been involved in contentious decisions. And these decisions include turning off water services during freezing months for residents and refusing to make reasonable payment arrangements. In a town where everyone knows everyone else, the betrayal felt by the community is palpable. The realization that their leader, someone entrusted with the well-being of the town, may have a checkered past in financial troubles, has ignited a fervent desire for change. They say the story is developing. Now, high society media is responsible for this article that we just read, and this is the documents that we just saw: the schedule for the year's income, the different forms for the bankruptcy. All right. And shout out to this gal. Her name is Shawana Burns, and she has a YouTube channel that she's been doing a lot of stuff. So this article utilized some of her work to do this. I want to see if I click this, where will it take me? It just takes you to who he is. Okay. So this is obviously for the city. Yeah, this is the mayor's page. When you click it, it takes you there. But the funny part about it was a lot of these people are all related. And that's why I'm saying it seems to me, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't that be considered like that's RICO? You've got a network of individuals that are utilizing a conspiracy to take over a town and to funnel finances and to strong arm people. You've got the makings of a wonderful movie, of a mafioso type movie, where they're going in and telling people, hey, you either, and this is allegedly because this is what was said online, either you give us money or we'll take care of you. And people who don't give money then are later shaken down by the police coming in, closing down their business, which will inevitably prevent them from making money. One other thing that I need to add to this is I hope you paid very close attention to the fact that they mentioned there was liquor licensures that were granted to his friend. And by his, I mean her boyfriend, that's the married man, allegedly, this Kamal man. But she has shut down other organizations and has refused to allow new businesses to come in because she said, you already got enough liquor stores. You got enough liquor stores. That's what she said. So I want to take you out with this. If I haven't taken you out already. I want to take you out with this, baby. Let's go ahead and look over here, because she responds. But to me, that interview that she did with him definitely backfired. You guys let me know, did that backfire in her face? I think it did. Tell me what you think. Let me go here. want you guys to see how the news covers this. And I also want you to see, well, I don't even want to address that yet until I've done more homework and I can find out. But from what I understand, allegedly, she was after her baby daddy girlfriend, and she went after the news channel because her baby daddy wife or girlfriend works at the news station, and she went after them, stating that they were after her because of the relationship she and her baby daddy, not the other woman's husband, but the baby daddy, the little baby, the young lady. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. How she denied it publicly is where I'm coming from. So let's look at this. This is how she denied it publicly, to the point that the news decided that it was newsworthy. And that's my point to this.
WGN Investigates has an update on a questionable cancer charity now being investigated by the Illinois Attorney General. The South suburban politician who the charity is named after is now denying direct involvement in the foundation that bears her name.
All I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So I'm just trying to answer to the
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you?
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
So you're
true.
not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines?
Correct.
Okay.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard appeared on Roland Martin Unfiltered on YouTube last night. It comes after WGN Investigates reported the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation claims to support cancer patients, but hasn't filed required financial disclosures to say how it raises or spends money. Henyard's claim that she's not involved in the foundation is contradicted by statements at public meetings and social media videos she's posted. As we've reported, her top advisor was also listed as the charity's registered agent. The Attorney General has ordered the foundation to stop soliciting money and is threatening legal action.
So I want to set the record straight. I don't have a foundation. I am a supporter of anybody that's struggling with cancer. My mom had breast cancer, and I'm always push anybody that has that. If someone uses my name to push their charity, or if you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it. Because right now I'm considered what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views. So you just say my name.
You don't have a, you say you don't have a foundation.
I do not. And that's why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
Spoken like a real crook. All right, before we get out of here, folks, I want you guys to take a gander at some of the comments that people have been leaving publicly. This is like a town that's very small, and in that they're very small, they're very close-knit. These people are hurting. Listen to this individual. I want you guys to hear what was done. This is an article here. I'm not going to read all of that, but let's just take a gander. Henyard and Keith Freeman won't get away with bullying the fire department. Let that sink in. Just let that freaking sink in. This was January 25th, 2023. It's an opinion column by Ted Slowick, the Daily Southdown. Dolton disciplined union head who asked about money missing from the pension account. Do you see that this is headed into the RICO realm? So let me read this so you guys can see it. Let me see if I make this bigger. Will it help you? Let's see. Okay, let me just read it to you. The union representing Dolton firefighters has accused Dolton officials of illegally disciplining the group's president after he raised questions about funds missing from a pension account. The dispute raises fresh concerns about how the administration of Dolton's mayor, Tiffany Henyard, is handling money and treating employees perceived as insufficiently loyal. Henyard also serves in a $277,000 a year post as the supervisor of Thornton Township, where she recently fired nearly a dozen employees. Attorney Susan Mata filed a complaint Tuesday with the Illinois Labor Relations Board on behalf of the Dolton Professional Firefighters Association Local 3766 of the International Association of Firefighters. The complaint accuses Dolton officials of engaging in unfair labor practices regarding David Duval, a captain with the Dolton Fire Department and president of the Local 3766 IAFF. Quote, the village threatened the union president, David Duval, with discipline, placed him on paid administrative leave pending investigation, and subjected Duval to the threatening and hostile behavior, according to the complaint. The complaint accuses the village officials of allegedly coercing interference and retaliation that infringed Duval's rights as a union member. The village's conduct made Duval's job security feel threatened, according to the complaint. Such conduct toward the union president also chills with other employees in the exercise of their rights. Trustee Jason House, one of the 5 Dolton Village Board members who have sought transparency and accountability from the Henyard administration amid concerns about unauthorized spending and volatile personnel management, provided a copy of the complaint. Quote, the union has certain protections, and there is a specific process by which a union member should be disciplined, House said. House also provided a copy of a letter Dolton Fire Chief Stephen McCann sent to Duval January 17th, notifying him that he was being placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of an investigation. Quote, the village of Dolton's fire department has opened an investigation regarding a series of alleged inappropriate email that you sent to various village officials, McCain wrote. Quote, effective immediately, you are relieved of all job duties and responsibility. McCain ordered Duval to immediately return any fire department identification keys and electronic equipment. House also provided a printed copy of the emails Duval sent December 30th and January 11th to Henyard, McCain, the village administrator Keith Freeman, the director of administrative services Janice Johnson, and others regarding money withheld from his paychecks that should have been deposited into a pension account known as a 457 plan. Somebody going to jail, y'all. I'm going to put a pencil here. I want to let y'all know, when you start messing with people, especially union individuals, and you're taking money out of plans that you're not authorized to tamper with, these particular plans that they're dealing with are not even, once he signs up and has that stuff go there, it's supposed to stay there. They get specific write-offs. That money, geez whiz. You guys, somebody talk to me in the chat here. What do you think about this? What are your impressions upon this? Can you imagine being in a local shop and all of a sudden this goes on? Whew, wow. This lady, let's just continue. So it's known as a 457 plan. The village pays employees every 2 weeks or 26 times a year. On December 30th, Duval questioned why only half of the money withheld from his paychecks was deposited into his pension account. He said, quote, I know there have been problems with Nationwide in the past, so either this is on them or it's on the village, but there should be 26 deposits in the 457 plan, Duval wrote. I know that the last one will not be in there, so there should be at least 25 deposits for the year of 2022. As you can from the table below, as you can, I think he meant as you can see, but as you can from the table below, there are only 12 deposits, Duval wrote. I'm missing 13. That's $3,900. Duval politely requested an explanation and thanked the officials for their time to the matter. Nearly 2 weeks later followed up with another email saying, quote, I still have not heard anything from anyone from the village regarding this matter. Can someone please advise what is going on and where and when the money will be deposited? Missing 13 deposits for year 2022 is unacceptable and could be considered theft of wages. House said Duval was obliged to inquire not only for himself, but on behalf of all the members of the union representing Dolton firefighters. It was not immediately clear if the other employees also experienced discrepancies regarding pension fund payments. This is money that is being taken directly from their paychecks, House said. These are wages that they've earned. That money should go directly into the retirement plan uninterrupted. In this case, it appears there has been some interruption. Henyard and the Dolton board majority of 5 trustees have repeatedly clashed in public meetings and in courtrooms over authorizations to sign checks, handle funds, and payments to various vendors and employees. Henyard's administration have hired and fired numerous people in non-union positions at both the village and townships. Her hiring of a man convicted of sex offense and refusal to conduct criminal background checks of other prospective employees triggered the prolonged standoff between Henyard and the board majority. Critics have accused Henyard of commingling funds, expenses, and activities among township and the village. Some people disciplined and fired have had impeccable professional reputations. Duvall, for example, holds a master's degree in public safety administration, according to his LinkedIn profile. Quote, "It illustrates how people get terminated and disciplined for just doing their jobs," House said. But if they don't do it in a manner that she sees fit, it will lead to consequences. And I think this is more of a message than anything else. Henyard appears to have escaped meaningful consequences thus far for her unprofessional and reckless treatment of distinguished public service employees. At the township, recently fired employees said that they were told their positions were being eliminated due to financial hardships. However, at the same time, the township posted openings for dozens of new jobs. Job titles listed on the township website linked to an application. Thornton Township is an at-will employer and reserves the right to terminate employment at any time for any reason, states the first line of the application. That may be true to non-union positions. However, union positions offer protections from the random whims of tyrants corrupted by power. The consequences for violating union members' rights can be serious and costly. Henyard and Freeman did not respond for a request for comment. Labor Relations Board complaint names Freeman, McCain, and Johnson and other village officials and employees as individuals involved in the alleged practice. Quote, "When Mr. Duvall was the president of the union," this is a mess. He's not only a fireman, but he's actually not only the captain, but he's actually the president of the union. When Mr. Duvall, the president of the union, is asking questions about it instead of giving him answers, he's put on administrative leave for just bringing it to everybody's attention, House said. If you make any statements publicly or if you inform anyone of information the mayor does not want you to, then the repercussions will be swift, he said. Ted Slowick is a columnist, and he did a darn good job on this for the Daily South Town. This is Dolton Politics. And then you have everybody who's leaving their comments there. But this is a hot rump mess. It sincerely is a mess. But these are the things that people are dealing with. And these are the answers to why aren't the Black communities taken care of? This is the answer to how come everywhere the Democrats run, they look like this? This is the answer. Please pay close attention. Pay close attention to the games that are being played here. Pay close attention, because if you don't, this stuff could go right over your head. And the next time you're driving down a city in a Black neighborhood, and you can tell our communities because they always have names like, Martin Luther King Drive or Coretta Scott Way or, things of that nature. Marcus Garvey Boulevard, that kind of stuff. When you're driving over those streets and you're going bibbity bobbity, and you have to get your whole rack and pinion fixed or your front end fixed, and it takes you like 30 minutes to drive down a straight line, makes you feel like you're driving down the streets of Soweto somewhere, like you're driving down the grass, like you're driving down the gravel roads going through Kenya or something. Take you 3 hours to take a 30-minute trip. These are the reasons why our communities are the way they are. This is the answer to why. This is the answer to How come our communities look so bad? This is the answer to why don't they take better care of us? This is the answer to why don't you educate yourself and figure out who you're voting for before you just give somebody the thumbs up or your vote of approval for their conduct. You think because a person gets in front of a camera and they appear to speak well, that you can trust them? That's not how any of this works. And that's the reason why you have people like this still in office. I mean, if you look at Los Angeles, California, Maxine Waters has been there since I was a young woman. And I'm not young no more. I'll be 60 pretty soon. She's been there all that time. And there are never answers given to people when they ask questions or corner her. Never. She always tries to say what she's doing and that it's somebody else's fault for holding it up. And this is what is going on in the Black community right now today and has been going on. And it has been blamed on the white man. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. And I know somebody's going to get upset. I understand, but I'm not going to shut my mouth to stuff that I see. And this is the reason why our communities are the way they are, because you have individuals who are lying, stealing, and tampering with people that they ought not tamper with. This man is not an ignorant man. And even if he were, she still should not be fumbling with that man's money. But not only did she mess with the captain of the fire department, she messed around and found out by dealing with somebody who is over the union. Before I close, I want to make sure that everybody goes over to Roland's channel and watch that video in its entirety. Unfortunately, because we had to utilize it in a commentary way, in a way of commentary, I had to chop it up the way that I did. But I want you guys to understand that I'm not necessarily a Roland Martin fan, but I did subscribe to his channel because in my opinion, he set her up real good. Yeah, he did. But see, that in and of itself should have told her where she was going. See, she didn't check where she was going. She didn't know who she was going to be dealing with. This man knows what he's doing, and he's not an idiot. If he invited you there, he already did his research. He already knows you're lying, but he let her lie. He let her hang herself. And I think it's very good that he did that, because if enough of us who are of a certain age, who are in the field of being able to pull the stories together and start to put this stuff out on Front Street, I guarantee you some people, not all, but some, just might think twice before they listen to others around them. Now, this girl has got herself in knee deep. And if you're watching, because I hear you watch a lot, anybody that puts your name in a title, you guys are scanning for to see. So sister, if you're watching, this is a personal note from me. You need to make sure you keep your mouth shut. You need to make sure that you go to your attorneys and ask them, how do you unravel what you've already created? You need to fix what you've messed up, because you're going to get called on the carpet either way it goes. And it would be a lot better for you if you were to fix what was messed up when you get called on the carpet. At least you got your homework to show how you fix and solve that problem. That's free. You won't have to charge. I'm going to have to charge you for that. I won't charge you. That's free. For everyone who joined us this evening, I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing your time with us here, both on Headlines with a Voice as well as the Lockhart Perspective. I want to tell you thank you. I want you guys to come in and check us out tomorrow night, Friday night. We are going to deal with the debacle that is this whole mess surrounding Wendy Williams that has gone from sugar to SH in no time. What we saw when we ran the special or the show on her about 3 weeks ago, could have even been a month ago, that just broke my heart. There is more, and it is far worse than anything that we have ever delved into as it relates to a personal story. In tandem with it being far worse, it actually lines up with another article that I, that I narrated on Headlines with a Voice about a year ago. We did it on Headlines with a Voice for the state of New York, and we also dealt with it in the state of California. And this, my friends, what we're going to be digging into tomorrow night, this is that in real life, in real time. What we were talking about before we closed was we were dealing specifically with the individuals who have guardianships already set up in their living wills. There have been 2 laws that have been put on the books. There's one in New York and there's one out in California. These laws challenge who you choose to take care of you. Unfortunately, what's happened to Wendy Williams falls right in line with that, but it's a little worse because this involves a judge, allegedly. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing your time with me. Please make sure that you tune in tomorrow. Look for the notification. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, please do consider hanging out with us. And if you are subscribed and you're not a member, go on ahead and join as a member on either channel. And that would be either Headlines with a Voice, because we are simulcasting here, or the Lockhart Perspective. I am releasing the Lockhart Perspective now. And if you want, you can come over to Headlines. And so let's see, removing that now just so